Yeah.
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 So
Hello,
Timbo's back with us then.
I am here. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
Timbo.
Can you hear me? Can you?
I
Yeah, you
can hear
can
Yeah,
hear
you.
yeah,
me.
we
Okay.
got you.
I'm just looking at my thing saying that I'm
Going
not
to it at the
receiving
moment.
in the video to send. So, that doesn't bode well. Okay. Let's push the send button anyway. See what happens. Ah,
I was just
so
telling
how we go?
farmers, Timbo, I
Yeah.
don't have a quiz. I don't have a quiz for tonight, Timbo,
Oh, okay. That's fine.
because I've literally spent all day at the duck farm because we had water issues.
Well, I think you had because I heard you on the phone while you were at the duck farm today. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think something had gone wrong for you to be at there.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Need that.
I suspect it's buffering bad out there. But
Um, uh, if the tank museum get their supporters to put 20 grand to it, so they announced this. It took them less than a day.
Wow.
But if you
oh
think
well.
about
That's
it,
good.
they had three. They had three tiers of donation. I think it was 25, 50, or £100. Well, if you're after 20 grand, that's only 200 people to say, "Yep, I'll give you 100 quid."
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
seem surprised that it took less than 24 hours to raise 20 grand. It's like, how many people are fans of the Tank Museum? How many, friends of the museum, Patreons have got all over the world? You only needed 200 people to go, yeah, there's 100 quid. So yeah, the guys have started work on it.
Day long.
Because it turns out the chap who's doing it is not too far away from me. I didn't even know his outfit was there. Um, the guy up the road from me, Tanks a lot, who had that ex-Russian shitload of stuff I've got across that wall for making models, just what comes in the box. And you've got all of December to do it. And then for everybody to go, right, here's what I've actually managed to produce just using what's in this fucking box. So that could be
That could be a challenge, yeah.
interesting. Yeah. I sort of saw that and thought, well, the kit's only about a tenner, so I've ordered one off eBay. I thought, yeah, I'm up for that. That would be good for a laugh, because that means I can't. I mean, I don't know how many different shades of paint I've got and whether as well. You can't use any of that. Just what comes in the box and a pair of snips. Really don't know how that's going to come out, but oh yeah, fuck it. There was a few of us said, yeah, we'll give that a go. It's all for charity.
Well, you usually get glue though, don't you? At least
Yeah, glue.
usually comes with a tiny amount though. I know that, but
It will be polystyrene cement that comes in a tube. We don't use that. I've got uh,
oh.
extra thin fast drying and extra thin, which doesn't dry quite so quickly. But it's
Yeah, but you can't use that though, right?
correct. We can't use none of this. I mean, all of that kit that I've spent years building up over there, can't use any of that. All I can use is what comes with the kit and a pair of snips.
That should make it interesting.
Yeah, because I got those what state the brush will be, because obviously paintbrushes, yeah, I've got 2 dozen of them of various types and sizes, and an airbrush, of course, because I'll just look at that and go, oh yeah, just airbrush all the colours on, blah, 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 mask it off a bit. No, can't do any of that. So painting it all by hand using just the tiny little pots of paint that come with the kit.
Is it you're usually not enough then? Is it the little pots of paint you get with it?
I mean, I think there's actually, I think there might be 4 pots. You've got 3 basic colours that's the camouflage of the plane, because it's a Mark 1 Spitfire, so it's going to be green and brown top sides, and then I think it's white and black underneath, because I think they used that right at the start of the war. I think that's the 4 colours you get, and that's it. So it's not the right colours for the cockpit, because none of those colours we used in the cockpit. All of the metallic parts, you ain't got any metallic paint. Sorry. Yeah, could be interesting.
Think so? I think I'm streaming. I think I'm streaming.
There is a live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been streaming. It's just been buffering. That's
Yeah,
all.
no. I think but I think we can actually see people now.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I've switched to my phone and using my different internet through my phone rather than home internet.
Hello, Peanuts.
Good eye out there. I think we're here.
Hello, world.
Dora, Armageddon's Fire, somebody called Farmer's Boy. I don't know who that is. Dart,
It's another one. How many bought them?
M2M. I don't know who that is either.
He thought he was first too. He seems to have an issue.
Well,
with
I was. You don't count your stream.
I do count. What's he? One.
No, you don't. Yeah, you set up the stream and you can put it. No, it's just that's an unfair race.
I love to count.
I love to count.
Anyway, I think I'll just sit here and
Oh, they probably can't hear me out there. Hang on a sec.
Are you glue sniffing, Farmer's Boy? So I was
No,
glue sniffing on a
not
live
at all.
stream.
Okay, they should be able to hear me out there.
Hey.
There we go.
We might get shut down if you carry on.
Touch too chemical for my. I mean, there's all sorts. There's all sorts of stuff in here that has some interesting smells. But glue's probably the. I've got thinners.
Got thinners. So do you get to use a knife? So in this challenge, do you get to use a knife, or do you have to break off all the pieces?
No. All you can use
Snips.
is a set of cutters, set of snippers. I mean, this is what you use to get the parts off the sprue. And then you'd be using the knife to get the worst of it off. And then I've got various sort of sanding bits and bobs to get rid of every trace. You can't, all you've got are snippers. Now, these are bloody good and very sharp, but
It's going to be very. You can,
because
but
the
you
whole
can
point
use.
of these beginner kits are here's a beginner kit and there's everything you need to make the kit. Well, no, there isn't. But this is for people who've been modelling for years and have got all the shit, which I've got, and it's like, no, other than a set of snips to get the bits off the sprues, all you can use is what comes in the kit. And already I'm having to, I've got one or two crafty ideas. Because like you've just got a brush of one size. So how do you paint the canopy? Because the brush is going to be too thick to paint the canopy.
Man.
Yeah, thank you, nerd. But so I've got some ideas about that. And how to craft points out of sprue using your cutters and then painting it with that.
You're going to see what you can do. If you're really careful, yeah. If you scrap, you could use some of the plastic and use that for filler.
What?
If you scraped it off the what do you call it? Kibble. Is it called kibble?
I don't think it's gonna. That's a bit of sprue off something I was working on last night, and I thought, what if I sort of try and cut it to a point using those clippers, which I have. Now you could actually use that as a paintbrush to paint things like the frame of the canopy and everything else. I thought, well, it's worth a fucking go because it's just going to come with a brush that's going to be fine for slapping paint on the outside, painting the camouflage. But for painting the little fiddly bits, you're going to have to make your own paintbrush. I don't know.
Yeah, but you could. But you know what you could do? It didn't say you couldn't use the box for anything.
Exactly.
So you could make a paintbrush using the feather a bit of cardboard and stick it to the end of a brush, and then you could have a paintbrush at least for some parts.
Yeah, but it's that sort of out of the thinking out
Box
of the box.
stick. Yeah, using the box thinking.
Anyway.
Yeah, because even if you can't use, if you've only got one brush, so use a cocktail stick. That's got a nice point to it, but that didn't come with the kit,
No. Anyway, Matt.
Anyway,
as
Paul got his, he was the scientist thing.
Yeah.
Of.
Oh, you want a clue, do you?
It's
of.
Okay.
That middle one must be
well,
of.
It's Harry of Argentina.
Oh, Oh, don't mention
No.
Argentina.
I mean, who do you know? Oh, yeah, that's a point. Yeah, that's another subject, isn't it? Who
Well,
do you
David,
know that's got
what's
of
wrong with that?
in the middle of their name, in the second name? Don't know anybody that's got of in their name.
Well, this guy around
Jesus
his
does.
time, he was a follower of the atomists.
Atomus. Okay.
Mm.
I just wanted to point out to Matt that Jesus has Ov as his middle name.
Okay, no, that's Jesus of Nazareth, but it's
No,
not
no,
Jesus, though, is it?
No, it's H. Jesus H. Christ. Come on. Don't know what the H stands for. It's Jesus H. Christ.
Sorry, Paul. You were saying about Atomus.
Yeah,
he was a follower of the atomists. No, he was a
Atomists.
mathematician, and he was a follower of the atomists.
I've heard that name
How
before.
are you spelling that?
And he figured out how to calculate the area of a triangle using only its side lengths.
Well, that was Pythagoras.
How are you spelling
No.
Atomus?
No,
How
it
you
wasn't.
spelling
No,
how you spelling Atomus, by the way?
atomists. Atomists.
Oh, atomists. Atomists.
Yeah.
As in atoms? Atoms?
As in atoms, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like things are all things are made
Yeah,
of
yeah.
atoms.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I just wasn't sure what you meant. No, I've got the
Oh,
spelling.
Ooh.
talking of that, does anybody
So
seen
what
that
go,
bloody film?
I was going to say
hang
what?
on a minute. I've had
Atoms?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. It's just come out, but you've got to pay for it. So I'm sort of waiting for the price to go down.
Oh no, I have a website where I can watch it for free, but it took me 3 goes to complete it because fuck me, it's boring.
All right, it's very
There
long.
you go. Nerd Alert's got it.
No, that's got it. Hero
Yeah.
of Alexandra.
Damn it!
It was
My
Hero of
Hero.
Alexandria. Yeah.
Was
Oh.
was that right on your lips there, Matt? You were just about to say that, weren't you?
No, well, no. Literally, I was typing in. I typed in some keywords: mathematician, atomists, and it actually is a Wikipedia hero of Alexandria. I'll show you the thing. It was the second thing down. I completely I disregarded it though completely. So it's not that I thought, but it was.
Yeah, it's not. No,
Was-
it's not that. Nah, can't be that.
Was there someone else who was famous as an atomus, like Aristotle or someone like that? Because it just sounds familiar.
He was
maybe it
fucked
was.
along.
Well, there must have been, Timbo,
Must have been a group of them, wouldn't there?
because if Hero was a follower of the atomists, there must have been other people who were
Oh
atomists.
yeah, no, but I meant someone,
Think,
someone who was
yeah.
someone else we would actually know. Hang on, googling it. Oh yeah, look.
Good as Alan.
Oh, they rejected Aristotle, so they definitely didn't follow Aristotle. So
There you go. Atomism, Democritus, Apocorus, Lucretius.
That's some silly
There you
bloody
go.
names.
it sounds like something you get in Life of Brian, or
Oh, by the way, yeah, it does a bit. Oh, by the way, I may have to leave because one or two things are going to happen. I'm either going to be going to the hospital with Nina, or we're going to be sorting out the downstairs all after.
okay,
And we
Okay.
have to get it done before my daughter goes to work. So
yeah.
I may have to disappear.
How the hell did Oppenheimer score 8.5 on IMDb?
People liked it.
Yeah, it took me 3 goes to watch it because I'd get to the point where I thought, this is fucking boring. I'm going to watch something else.
I know it was really long.
What's it available on? What's it been released on?
Prime has it.
Netflix. I don't think.
Amazon Prime has it, but you got to pay.
Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Even though you pay
Oh.
for Prime, you got to pay for Oppenheimer. So just
Yeah, that's what really what I dislike about Amazon Prime Video. You've paid for the service. So if you want to watch this film, it'll cost you. Well, thank you very much. I have a website where I can watch it all for free. So
yeah, so there.
Yeah, well, same, but usually when it's first released, it's usually absolutely appalling quality, terrible sound, terrible.
Well,
vision.
on my website, when it says cam in the corner, that means somebody's literally filmed it in the cinema.
yeah.
And you
And
think,
they're
no,
awful.
I'll wait until it says HD. Thank you very much. And
Yes.
I waited and I watched it. And like I say, it took me 3 attempts. It's like, God, come on, get on. Oh, it's like watching JFK. That was another 3-hour bored fest.
Would you be surprised if I said I've never watched a pirated movie that I'm aware of?
Or Ben Hur.
What? So what exciting bit were you looking forward to then, Farmer's Point and Oppenheimer? Because
The explosion, of course.
The explosion.
Trinity.
And that's it. Kaboom, and then done. That's it. Okay, film
I
over.
know, it's it. It's
Thanks very
like,
much. I mean, what do you want to see?
yeah, but I don't know how they managed to like make it last 3 hours.
Yeah, but it's all about Oppenheimer and the build up to it, and you know how the whole project, and you know,
Yeah, but they don't really cover much of that.
don't they?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's Alan.
That's the
Hello,
thing. It's like, how the fuck they make this last 3 hours?
Alan.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wasn't already here. It was just
Yeah, I saw you there. I just hadn't had a chance to say good day.
it's.
Yeah.
You have to remember it's the 4th Saturday of the month. That means that there's something going on in the village that requires my attention before 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Farmer's market, or more precisely, having a fried breakfast.
All
So
right.
I had a fried breakfast this morning.
A fried breakfast I didn't have to cook.
No, I had to cook mine.
Porridge,
Had to shut the door between the kitchen and the front room.
which I haven't actually had yet, which I will have shortly.
I put
Might-
up
And
might
a.
have
also,
I may have to eat
I
that
have
porridge on the
committed-
stream.
I have committed to cardinal sin this week.
Yeah.
I ran out of tea bags.
My God. I thought I felt a disturbance in the force.
I've been
An
having to
Englishman ran
drink
out of tea
coffee.
bags. Oh my God.
There's nothing wrong with drinking coffee.
No, I had to drink coffee. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, that's why I got used to drinking black coffee. When you're on a building site and then you run out of milk, it's like, well, I can't drink tea without milk. I'm going to have to drink black coffee. And I got used to it, and I can't have milk and coffee anymore. But when it's cold and it's wet and it's miserable and you need a hot drink and it's like black coffee or nothing, you get used to black coffee.
Yes.
Till they can send the boy down the shops.
Well,
Yeah, imagine go to an Englishman's house with there's no tea bags. God almighty. The horror. The horror.
I bet you there's no tea bags at the Queen's house. Well, the King's house now, isn't it? So
Oh, I bet there is. I bet there is. Lots of them.
tea bags? No, there'd be only leaf tea there.
No, they
surely.
probably. I mean, the staff probably will anyway. I should imagine.
There's lots
Yeah,
of tea
making
bagging
proper
going
tea
on
for
at
just
Nathan
one cup.
Oakley's house.
Yeah.
I've literally probably got about 2,000 tea bags at the moment amongst a couple of bags.
I think I've just started the next box. I can't remember how big those Yorkshire tea boxes are. They're quite
Quite large, yeah.
quite so I can't remember how many tea bags you get in there.
What about 200? I think.
We have Lipton's here. I think it's Lipton's. No, we don't. I don't know. Big green box. I don't know. Don't drink tea. I put up a really sensible.
Put
up a really
mostly.
I put up a really sensible formula for you.
Relative density disequilibrium. I can't say it, that word. Disequilibrium. There you go.
Yes. It's made to look like a formula. But A of the object. What's the acceleration of an object? How do you measure that? And A of the medium. So how do you get the acceleration of a medium?
What the hell's a constant of nature?
Well, you already know, apparently, so...
Do I?
But it says down
I
the
was just
bottom.
looking at that and thinking, what the heck is that when it's home?
Yeah, it was post the other day. So make up any constant you want to stick in A. Then work out how to... Well, you can do the density of an object or a medium.
Density of what? Yeah, you could. You could.
You could.
I like acceleration of an object or medium and density of an object or medium. So you get a choice of two on both
Yeah.
of them.
That's right. Why not?
Yeah,
Let's
why
make
not
it
just throw that in there?
But the point is, what's it actually? After all
Go
that,
ahead.
what's it actually measuring? What are you trying to get out of this formula?
Relative density disequilibrium.
Yeah, but where's that?
One of them. I don't know.
Where's that in the formula?
Yeah. How do you
It
get a
isn't.
ratio
I don't know.
in
I don't.
disequilibrium?
How do you measure disequilibrium? I can't. Why can't I not say that word? Disequilibrium.
Yeah, that's it.
And why are they using a word that's something to do with economics?
Yes, I know.
True. Yeah.
So you've
So
got a unitless ratio and something to do with economics, and that somehow replaces gravity.
Or buoyancy.
I know why it's called disequilibrium, because the units don't match on each side of the equal sign.
No, they don't.
Yeah. That's right.
If A minus A, if A object minus A medium, and you got A medium, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't cancel them out. It doesn't go anywhere. But it's obviously written by someone who doesn't really know what a formula is, and it's trying to make it look like it's something.
So a guy called Your Angle was on Gems. Yes.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And he was talking about geometry and all the rest of it, and making a whole load of statements completely bollocks about geometry. Didn't have a clue what he was saying. So I said to him, well, okay. Well, then he mentioned pi, and I said, okay, what is pi? So that took about 5 minutes. Eventually, he obviously Googled it because he read the Google definition of it word for word. So we got that out.
Well, that's
and then I said, right, okay, well done for Googling that. Okay, so that took nearly 5 or 10 minutes to get that, squeeze that out of it. So I said, okay, how do you calculate the area of a circle? Square it, he said.
Yep.
I said, square what? He said, the number. So what number? He said, any number, the number you need. Which number do you square?
Tell me what to say.
You haven't encountered Your Angle yet, by the sounds of it.
Oh, I've counted a number of times. I've listened to him mostly. I haven't really spoken to him all that much.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I've heard him, and that was bad enough.
I mean, I do feel for the guy, but in some ways I don't, because he dropped out of high school apparently about the age of about 12 or 11 or something like that, because he had some pretty severe medical problems, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. My missus dropped out of school as well because she had some issues. So, everybody's ignorant about something. But the thing is, if you come onto social media and start arguing about the stuff that you have never learned about or you don't know anything about, and telling everybody that you're right and everybody else is wrong, that's when it becomes an attitude problem.
Oh, yeah, he has said that he's the smartest person in that Discord server.
Yeah, he has said that a couple of times. Yeah, I know.
And everyone, a lot of people don't pick on him too much because it's not really, it's too easy.
Well, no, I don't pick on him. I don't call him stupid. I don't call him thick and all the rest of it. I don't call him that because I understand the reasons. But if he's going to start talking about stuff that he knows nothing about, well, of course you're going to challenge him on it.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. He nearly broke me a couple weeks ago. We were talking about longitude and latitude.
Oh, that I remember that. Yeah. Oh God, that nearly broke me too. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. You couldn't.
Nerd Alert points out that at BEVs they don't understand the difference between a radius and a radian. They don't understand the difference between level and horizontal.
No, they don't.
Well, Your Angle.
Sorry, hang on.
Your Angle keeps posting. He keeps posting a GIF that shows the fundamental definitions of what sine and cosine are, as compared derived from the unit circle. It's a GIF that shows the angle increasing and how you get sine and cosine from the unit circle. Yeah. And he's posted it like dozens of times. It's like he's fascinated by it or something. I don't know.
Well,
I think he has no idea what it actually is.
Because he says the Earth's a sphere, not an ellipsoid. And it says, and then he tried to say the other day, but I think he realised how silly it was, maybe, that when they were talking about the orbits of the planets, right? He says he started to say that they can't be elliptical because the Earth's a sphere, and because they wouldn't be the same shape. And then someone asked him, "Oh, is that what you said?" And then he went quiet, and I think he realised that that was a ridiculous thing to say. But he has this fascination with. He doesn't get the difference between the different shapes, so he thinks that GIF somehow is proving something that none of us understand what he's thinking on that is. Something to do with because I don't think he transfers elliptical, like three-dimensional surface shapes, like a sphere, and two-dimensional circle, etc. I don't think that stuff really gels with him, and I don't think he gets the difference. So.
No, he apparently he has a problem with meanings of words, word association. Apparently.
Oh, and
that's
reading.
why he really struggles with a lot of things.
He
like for instance, another thing, and reading, yeah. And another thing yesterday, he said as well yesterday was, is it geometry or is it plane geometry? Which geometry is it? Like, what? Is it geometry or is it plane geometry? Come again? What?
Yes.
Didn't seem to grasp the fact that geometry is a generalized term for all kinds of different types of geometry.
Because I first encountered him, he was talking about the thing that he posted from the Surveyor General in the US. After a bit of thing, we were reading through it together, and he was picking out these words, and I was saying, "Oh yes, you're finding what he was saying and reading out the whole sentence," which was sticking. It was exactly what we'd expected. So he's talking about the geoid and the elliptoid and how they use that for reference to work out the elevations and blah blah blah. And he was picking out specific words in the sentence and said, "Look there, it says such and such." I said, "Yeah, but all the words around it make that have a different meaning. You can't just pick the word out and say."
You know why that is.
You're gone.
Yeah, you know why that is, don't you? You know what he's doing, doesn't he? He's picking like keywords and buzzwords from other flat earthers, and he's just rolling with it without any clear understanding or any understanding whatsoever of what they actually mean.
So he's just posting stuff. It's like, you haven't read, you don't even understand what you're posting and how it actually doesn't confirm what you're saying.
No clue.
He doesn't.
So when you quiz him further, he doesn't even understand the flat Earth model itself, but he's arguing about flat Earth.
Well, he's not a flat Earth.
Like, dude, you need to go. Well, no, I'm not. Well, no, you don't understand. Okay, the flat Earth. How can I put it? Idea. He doesn't understand any of it, let alone you can't argue. How can you argue about something you don't understand to begin with?
Well, yeah, because his statement was he's not a flat Earther. He's not a flat Earther. He just thinks it's the Earth is on a continuous plane.
Well, that's what
on a continuous plane. Yeah, it's on a continuous plane, so it's not a flat Earth.
It's an infinite plane that's bounded by the ice wall. That's merely part of just several other thousands of non-planets all spread around, all at the same time. But it's not flat.
Yeah, but it's not the flat. It's not a flat Earth.
Well, there's plenty of them around, isn't there? It's a bit like saying that UFOs exist without understanding what a UFO is. That's the same kind of thing to me.
Yes,
I see UFOs all the time. It's like, what the fuck is that?
Well, yeah.
Oh, what's that? Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's one of them. Okay.
Yeah, but that's by the by. You know where I'm coming from. He doesn't understand the flat Earth argument. That's what he doesn't understand.
Flat Earthers don't.
Globe.
The general arguments. Well, we probably should do a Lindsay or something. So I'll just post it in here.
Or something.
Don't feel obliged.
Well, after last week, I'm trying to decide, should I give you the same card you had last week or not?
With just 2 words on it. Yeah, it's worth a pun. Only if I can have more than one card open.
It paid off. It paid off for you.
I couldn't believe that. That was just... Took over half the bloody video to get it, though.
Yeah, man. Just have to get those 2 words. Oh,
right,
Peanuts, I've posted you out there. You can have as many cards as you like. Just post bingo in the chat if you get it. Posted in here for the other ones.
Right, that one hasn't got Kundalini.
That
one has. That's right. I've got a fair spread.
I've got Kundalini. I
don't have Kundalini. I'm doing well.
Oh, I tell you what. I've got one line that looks very likely to me. Moon, Vortex, Truth, Milky Way, and Orion's Belt. That's a very strong line, that one.
Well, that's the
Very
luck of the
strong.
draw, because it could be one of those other videos
Yeah.
that he does.
Well, it's on
Yeah, that's right. It could be.
astrotheology over physics. So there you go.
The pomegranate
And golden bells.
and golden bells, right? It's not particularly clear on here, but
Yeah, I think
pomegranate.
I think this might be an older one he's reposted, but anyway, go with it because he's in the setup in his old spot. Oh, look at the blue tack up the top. Okay,
Lots
Lindsay
of-
speed.
Yeah, why has he got blue tack up?
I know why. Sometimes he's got one whiteboard in front of another one. I reckon if you look at the amount of blue tack he's got there, has to hold up the smaller whiteboard, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
I think it's just held up with blue tack.
What's the thing in the right hand corner up there? Don't know.
It's like another magnet or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what
it's
that is.
It's like it. That one halfway down on the right hand side is a magnet. I think there might be a couple more magnets. I think.
Exodus 14:11. I don't think says no graves in Egypt, but anyway. There are no bodies in the large sarcophagus, only because they're stolen. It's definitely graves.
Timbo.
Yeah.
Timbo.
Yeah.
Play.
Oh, I was too busy.
Oh,
reading
that
the
takes me
screen.
I've
back.
said that for a long time.
I was going to say, I saw Terry the other day. Anyway, let's move on.
Welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Today's
Turn him
video
up.
is another astro theology lesson, and this one regards Exodus.
Oh, sorry,
Exodus.
I forgot to pop out my card. It's behind Lindsay. Try again.
28, where we talk about the pomegranate. What does a pomegranate mean?
It's
Well, for starters, pomme, it actually means apple, and the granite means many seeds. You know what granite looks like? Looks like got lots of seeds in it. The most condensed of the
Oh, it
7 layers of compaction we find
What
within
fucking
Earth.
is he looking at?
Above Earth is 7 layers of expansion of the hydrogen molecule. Different states of gaseous forms, right up to the lightest gas. 7 layers of the firmament. Because at the end of the day, they're all layers of water, because they all come from the hydrogen molecule. Different states, gaseous states. And they're all divided, separated, which is inert gas, isn't it?
No.
You could say the 7
No, it's
inert
not.
gases. Right up to helium, helium and hydrogen. But right, this one, I'll read a couple of
Hydrogen
passages.
is inert,
28,
is it?
33. Okay,
Really?
so you get the guts of it. And beneath, upon the hem of it, thou shalt make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate, upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. Now, when he cometh out, he die not. You've heard all the stories, the gory stories. You're going to die. It's all about rebirth. No one actually physically dies. If you don't believe me, there is a passage. There you go. Exodus 14:11. No graves in Egypt. There are no bodies in the tombs of the sarcophagi. That's basically telling you no one physically dies, because it's not about the physical realm.
We robbed out.
Internal, spiritual,
That's right, that's what I said.
biblical. So now we're going to go over what they mean, what they're referring to with the pomegranate and the golden bells.
I don't have pomegranate on my
And there's
list.
quite a lot to that story. If I had a video camera, I could probably make a longer video, and I'll most likely invest in one of those.
Sorry.
Um,
You got a video
but,
camera.
I've only ever been over like 4 or 5 years. I've only actually earned $1,000 from my subscribers,
Oh,
and I haven't even got that yet, because it's still
Oh.
sitting in Patreon. So
You
I've spent a bit of money on 2 cameras already. But anyway, moving along.
Oh, how sad. Never
So,
mind.
to understand any astrotheology, like I've mentioned before, you have to understand how they knew the world, how they knew Earth, and they knew it was flat back in the day. Okay, so you're looking at the flat realm here. This is how it's shaped. And we're talking about apples, and these are magnetic field lines. There's just infinite magnetic field lines. I've just drawn a few. And this is how the cycle works. It comes out of the south. If you're in the southern hemisphere, the sun will move around like this, right round, and then go back around into there like that. And it's forever moving west. So you'll always have a pattern where it's coming out, going around like that, and back around like that. Let's rub that one out. Another one, around like that. You can do a nice symmetrical picture for yourselves. And look at those things there. What are those? Tassels? Bells? Well, it talks of
No.
pomegranate being apple. I hope you can see me over there. Let me just check. Well, there's your apples.
He's going to see because you're not there.
And they speak of the golden, how do they say it? What do they say? A golden bell. So you just look up the etymology of bell.
Well, that's Paul.
Or even pomegranate. You got the apple.
Yeah.
A golden bell. You've got the apple. You've got a golden bell. You've got the apple. You've got the golden bell. You've got the apple. You've got the golden bell. Okay? And that whole chapter, or whatever you call them, whole Exodus, is all about the design of the flat earth of the Old Testament, earlier on in the book, describing the earth and the alignment. And the alignment of the particular time, the holy season, man's awakening, the southern hemisphere. That's a bit like history. There's another one. Excuse me, where are we? No, I'll have to use another colour. There's your southern hemisphere. There's your northern hemisphere. It's like a baby without any limbs. And what does it look like back up here in the whole of creation? Just like that. This is the sun. This is the sun, the head on the horizon of the black hole. The sun, S-U-N, S-O-N, the sun, because all this divine information in the Bible and all those other ancient books is all about this thing here, that fat thing up in here, awakening that mind. That's rebirth, awakening that up. And it happens at a divine time in history, in the cycles of time, and the most divine position is right here, in that zone there. This is why we've seen many depictions. Let's take that off. This picture here. Who's seen that before? The fish.
That's not what it looks like.
Fishes, Pisces, all about Pisces, the fishes. So there's the southern hemisphere. Put that back on there again. There's an overlay. Okay, we've been over this in a previous video about the bread. There's the bread and how it shrinks away in the southern winter, goes down into a mente, then swells back up again, becomes leavened, unleavened, leavened, where it comes up and surpasses the vortex here, goes above the sun that's in here, the actual sun.
Snowman model.
This is mentioned in a story where, I'm not sure if it's Zeus or someone, a name for the Christ here, the sun. He doesn't mind these bodies up here being higher than him. He's the king, nothing's higher than the king, but he doesn't mind this happening. Where the ecliptic plane does a, this is down and out, the ecliptic plane. So you've got to imagine the ecliptic plane, it's all circular like this, sun's in the middle here. Well, this sort of bows down. Again, it goes like this, and then it comes up like horns. See, the one-eyed monster. This is how the Egyptians show us this with the bird's wings, down and out, all the way around for the southern summer, and it slowly winds its way up to up and in. Now it's up above the sun. Imagine this is the sun. Look, my arms can do it. That's why man is of the earth. We can depict all this stuff. It's like I can show you there's two sky rotations. They come around and go like this. They lock, bingo, there's man's hour in alignment. Then what do? They go like that. This is what we see in our horizons when we're Star Trek videoing, star trails or time lapse. This is essentially equator, the two Milky Ways. Oh, sorry.
Really?
The two sky rotations, both hemispheres. But they go like this and wind away. Now, at a particular time of the year, the holy season, you can imagine these two are the Milky Ways, so one in each hemisphere, come around and line up. Bingo, man's hour. Let's last for an hour. and then they turn away. Okay, so that's what's happening in this alignment here.
He's
There's
never
the
seen
overlay.
it.
Not what
But
we.
then
It's not what we
come out
see
of
at all.
Egypt,
What are you
come
talking
out,
about?
cross the Jordan, cross the Red Sea, and becomes the equinox. We have the dividing gap, and that they're turning like this. If you start filming after the equinox, you've got the gap.
Go on,
You see
say
the
the
odd
gap.
thing
What is
coming
it?
through here,
What gap
but
is it?
the most
What's
dividing
the gap?
Is it? Go on.
is the
Go on.
Say it.
Orion's
Say it.
belt. Comes right through that gap, dead straight line. You'll see the stars doing this.
Oh,
These rotations
oh, I
in
only
your arc
need
of
moon.
horizon.
I only need moon.
We all get one of
That's all I
these
need.
rotations individually. Personal arcs of horizon. That's all you see. It go like this.
Arc of Horizon, I got that one.
Where was I going with that? Anyway, wait, it comes out and then you got Orion's belt that's dead straight. So you see these rotations, but Orion's belt will appear to go straight. When you're filming, you need to film this. Okay, so all these lying Freemasons who teach
Hey,
you,
Moo.
tell you
What
not
do you
making
think?
cameras
Oh, it's
to film more than a
Roboting
certain
badly.
time. But you can do it, I guess, with battery packs and stuff. But they only film so far at the minute. But anyway, you can figure things out if you're that way inclined. So it's this overlay period. This overlay period here represents
Oh, he's back.
this period here in the sun's analemma. Right there. It's all about the neck. 6th day of September. Even mentioned even March for the northern hemisphere. So what is actually happening is you've got all these tassels here. So every man in his personal arc of horizon has one of these apples and a tassel, or whatever you want to call them, bell. And that bell will line up with the northern hemisphere bell, because they're doing the same thing. Comes around and goes like that. Or it comes around and goes like that for that guy, for this guy. So he's got one. So he's got an alignment right through to here. Okay? But the divine period is when the sun has come out. It's travelled all the way around. Actually not the sun, the Milky Way. It's all about this connecting point here and there, across the tropics. Okay, so this is where all the magic happens in this tropical gap. We know about this gap in science, in physics.
Yay.
That's the dielectric. It's the
dielectric.
electromagnetic force created between the two
Oh,
glued
bingo.
up north and south poles of a
Bingo.
magnet.
Bingo, Harry.
Bingo.
Thank God for that.
You need to show
Electric.
it.
Yeah, just got it. I did really well actually this time.
You need to show us. Go on.
I was getting there, but not quite.
Hang on.
Yeah. I'll
Can we
show you.
share?
You have to enable me to. Yeah.
You mean when Paul was host, he didn't enable share?
Yeah, my computer locked up and I had to restart it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I figured something went wrong. I can't
Yeah, I don't know what caused it.
Internet's playing up at my end too. But yeah, I don't know.
There you go. Can you see that?
We can
Yep.
hang on a bit. Transition that out to the other guys. Okay. What have we got?
Oh,
That-
yes,
that-
moon
that-
or
that-
dielectric.
He didn't say black
Yeah,
hole.
that one on the right hand side. I thought that was going to be the winner. I was just dying for him to say moon.
But I don't
Huh?
recall him.
He did say
didn't
black hole.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No.
I certainly said black hole. I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he probably
I think
There was a little
Did he?
bit there, but I wasn't sure.
Pretty sure
I
he did.
didn't mark it off on mine.
because I clicked it off as soon as you said it. So, yeah.
He did point to where he usually says black hole, so it didn't surprise me. I just missed it. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. Bingo. I'll take that.
I did, just out of interest, look up Exodus 14:11.
Yeah, didn't say that.
It's not what he's saying whatsoever.
No, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's always doing that though. He's always doing it.
Well,
to
he's-
Moses, they said,
That's where
"Were
we
there
get
no
free.
graves in Egypt? You must lead us out to die in the wilderness."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's got nothing to do with bodies or sarcophagi or any of that old shite.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite clearly, couldn't we die where we are? Why do we have to die at
Unfortunately,
nowhere?
within my library, I do have.
The Holy Bible.
Do you?
Yeah, we've got one.
very-
I've even got
lots
the
and
Quran.
lots of very soft, absorbent pages, just in case.
Yeah,
Just in
I
case you need to make an
absorbent.
emergency roll up. Obviously, I'm not referring to it as toilet paper.
yeah, I think I've got more than one version. Does it?
Well, the pages are about the right size.
I can pull up the NIV or the Good News Bible and the Jerusalem Bible. And, yeah.
I mean,
Anyway.
I've got a King James, and I've got another version. I can't remember which.
I have-
This is the
and I've even got a
CTS New
Quran.
Catholic.
Believe it or not.
Compact, very good
Compact.
for self-defense.
It is.
Utter bollocks.
I haven't read the
I mean,
Jerusalem
if
Bible
you
since
thought
high
L.
school.
Ron Hubbard was bad. Blimey.
No, it's not as bad as L. Ron Hubbard. Come
I've read Battlefield Earth,
on. Well, that's a different matter.
and I've seen the film.
The film was bad. The film was definitely
God's
bad.
teeth.
Oh, dear.
Thought the book was bad. Fucking hell.
I don't think I've ever called bingo. I don't think I've ever called bingo until today.
Well, there you
Can't
go.
take that away from me.
Well done.
Well,
Can't
well
take-
done, mate. You've lost your
Got it.
bingo cherry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've got here an
All
F-Tap.
these years.
I've got an F-Tap world here, and I've written format.
You got what? What?
I've got an F-Tap world. It says format, but why?
Oh.
Is
A what?
that
A what? A
format?
what world?
Effed up
Effed
world.
up.
Effed up world is flat earther.
F that word. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Except I
Format.
have a feeling I've stuffed up the link because it's a JPEG. Why would I have a JPEG? Let me try.
Didn't know it was still going, to be honest.
Yeah, nah. I probably would have got it off 42's channel, so I'll quick click back. I think I know which one it is. Did you see there's a bit of a feud between Bev and who was it?
Mr. Oakley, isn't it?
And Khan. Mr. Khan.
Oh, God. Flatsoids. Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. He gives all Yorkshiremen a bad name.
Oh, him. Yorkshire
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I got a little bit of it there. Something to do with supposedly he thinks that Khan stole some of his video, right? Which was the video about him meeting up with a surveyor, and supposedly tricking the surveyor into saying, "Oh, yeah, the Earth's flat."
Oh, yes. He just bumps into one in the street, doesn't he, and asks him silly questions.
Yeah. And yes, and I think that has caused some problems. So while I look for the other one, where's this Bev one? Bev.
I saw something alluding to that, but I didn't bother chasing out because I thought it's just one idiot arguing with another idiot, you know.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And Khan is an idiot.
Oh yeah.
That's why we come here.
He's a bit of a dick
But,
to go with.
you know,
it.
he's
Not
a
only
big
is he an
voice
idiot,
within
he's a dick.
Flatzoid's channel, and people have heard of Flatzoid,
Okay.
right? Simon Dan's talked about Flatzoid, which is, well, Flatzoid's a rising star. He's hidden me, so we can't.
Rising
talk
star.
Rising
We've
star.
been out talking to people, right?
It's just
I've got some
it's not just cream that
conversations, and I
floats
think
to
I'll be
the
putting
top.
them out soon. Of how we can
Other
talk to
things
flat
tend to float
earthers,
as
right?
well.
Conversations with model afflicted dogmatic globe believers. We've got conversations with surveyors, real people in reality, and we've got conversations with flat earthers now too. And a few of them have been trying to use this fallacious modus tollens that QE calls the black swan, and they don't like hearing that it's fallacious. I was talking to, I think Flatsy is another one of these flat earthers about that particular argument this morning.
Who's Flatsy?
Yeah, that's right, Askin. XYZ is a plane. Imagine somebody thinking that, and then thinking that whenever anybody says, yeah, it's flat, in response to, is it curved? Thinking that XYZ is a plane. And we had to have a conversation this morning about how you can conceptualize 2D. You have a curve in it. Brilliant. Cheers, mate. Does anybody know where Michael Kahn is? And can anybody, just check, see whether he wants to pop over and have a chat about why he wanted to do that? Because I know Flatsoid's hidden me, or one of the other mods over at Flatsoid's. Did nobody hear from anything on Nathan Oakley, or was Nathan Oakley just trying to fish in to get me over there?
I think he's expecting you to do
You're
something,
not
Bev.
fishing to get anybody into your channel.
I want to listen to that one more time. Listen to this fella
Kettle.
and me talking to this guy.
Hey, mate. We're doing a bit of a project about level with the lad, right? It's horizontal, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing else.
See, I call it vertical because it's up and down.
Well, it's perpendicular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horizontal and vertical. Level is it's not curved at all, is it?
No, it's flat.
Can't be have a curve in it.
Can't be curved, no, it's flat.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate.
All right.
So, the water level in the canal,
Yeah.
horizontal, right?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Because like it
That's
goes.
what the lock does. The lock changes the level, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So in theory, from one lock to the next, the water level should be the same.
So, like here, the canal goes from Liverpool Locks
Yeah.
all the way to Appley Bridge.
Yeah.
27 miles.
Yeah.
One level.
No.
No locks.
Oh, no locks.
There's no locks from Liverpool all the way. This is the
If
south.
there's no locks, in theory, it should be level.
Yeah.
Otherwise, water should spill out of it.
I know. Horizontal, right?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
Cheers, mate.
So what we want to do is establish a horizontal.
Okay. Talking to surveyors in reality, right?
Yeah. We
You've
get
spoken to reality to real surveyors, and I've told you what a fucking idiot you are.
it. Yeah. I'm sure if you asked them, oh, does that mean that's flat? I think they would have given you a very different answer. Trying to get on with the job, mate. So
It's like airline pilots sort of saying, "Yeah, it's flat." Yeah, it's basically saying, "Well, you just fuck off."
So that's I don't know exactly what's happening. I'm trying to work it out.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
So this is Michael Kahn. And see if you try and make any sense of this because I couldn't.
I didn't think I'd be doing a response to my last video this quickly, like, but I made that last video live whilst I were in Nathan Oakley's chat today, and Bev were there.
Yeah, I can't play the last video because it's been taken down, so I can't play this one.
Okay.
That's why it's out of sequence. Otherwise, I would have played it.
Yeah. So he's dropping a few comments in that chat, and I find them quite alarming. So let's have a look. So the first comment was, "Hey Michael, nice video. How do you feel misrepresenting a professional?" I haven't misrepresented anybody. You were talking to a surveyor, you were asking him about level and horizontal, and he said, yeah, it's flat. So I think it might be you who was misrepresenting the professional. And I think you're a liar, Bev.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
And I'm going to show you why I think you're a liar. So next comment. I purposely didn't put that video out public because it's not fair for you flat earthers to endanger the professionals' careers by misrepresenting their words. I've already addressed that. I didn't misrepresent. I just shared what you posted, Bev. Secondly, you did put that video out to public because it's on your YouTube channel for everybody to see. I'll link it in the description and I'll put timestamp so everybody can go and look and see what kind of person you are, Bev. You're a liar. Next comment.
Well,
I posted it on Discord, Michael. You copied it and put it on YouTube. No, I don't go on Discord, mate. Especially not your Discord, right? So I've not been to Discord and copied nothing. I went to your YouTube channel and found it on there for up into public for everybody to see, Bev. So no, I didn't copy it and put it on YouTube. It was already there. You're a liar, mate. With your own words, you're a liar. You're a flat denier, and you're a liar.
Busted.
So here we are on Try Thinking YouTube channel, not Discord, Bev. YouTube, and this video. How to talk to surveyors 101. And you've even split your timeline up so I can go straight to the video, which is here. I can link this, like I said before, in my YouTube channel, time-stamped, so everybody can see how much you fib. You see, Bev, when you're a liar, you need to keep track on lies that you make, mate. You ain't a truther, you're not a flat earther, you're no better than an anti-flat earther.
There you go. So that was came across that was interesting.
Bless.
Then I thought I was scrolling, oh yeah, well because I came across this one first. Then I got down to here and realized Bev Where can we chat about you? There's a whole lot of replies. So they had a whole conversation. And Flatsoid got involved.
Well, of course.
Then down the bottom, Nathan Oakley said they could come and talk to Unfed. But they didn't want to go to Fed, obviously. They want them to come. Anyway.
I do like it when these idiots fight amongst themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
But we all know that Bev's not a liar. We all know it's a disingenuous lying.
Yes.
Not just a liar. Yeah. So, yes, it was... and then Flatsoid put out a video as well. So there's a bit of back and forth. That was interesting. If you guys want to follow it, I wasn't going to play anymore of it.
So presumably then, Bev has taken that video off his channel.
I don't know. What's Bev's channel?
Well, I'm going to look for it. I can't find it.
Yeah, I'd imagine he has now, because obviously he's going to pretend that was never there, even though the video evidence says otherwise. And now he's played it on his, and you can see it on his show anyway, so, yeah. Yeah, I did find a thing for Matt. You still there, Matt? You still there, Matt? Matt?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe he's gone to clean up downstairs. I'll have to come back to that one. I got a Leo. I haven't got much else. I got a CC. You want to listen to CC? I haven't listened to this one.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be.
What are you doing back in the house? I didn't think you were allowed in the house anymore.
It's only allowed in the house when she's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only time.
She'll go nuts when she finds out he's been recorded in the house again, won't she?
She was probably,
yeah.
somehow I don't think she watches his channel.
Chester County. It's 11/19/23. Okay. Just looking at some of the comments. I've got a comment. Today is a Sunday, and it's a cartoon day. Okay? Cartoon Sunday. I'm going to dedicate my first cartoon Sunday to Earth's core.
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it.
Okay. Alright, so we've only dug down 8 miles, whatever, scratching the surface. And then just take a coconut, scratching the surface of the coconut. Well, we can take a pumpkin too, but today is going to be a coconut. We don't know what's in the interior of that until we actually break this coconut up, take a look at it.
Well,
right?
You can't tell it's got water with it without breaking.
Well, the thing is apparently, since we can't open up the earth and find out what's exactly in it, we'll produce Cartoon Sunday pictures. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at this one. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that one. That's nice. What's that? The magnetic core? Is that what that is? We dug down. We haven't even scratched the surface of the Earth at all, but yet we're given these ridiculous diagrams. Cartoon Sunday, remember? We're giving these ridiculous diagrams. You know what? I would love to see what the core of Mars is. I bet we have something. Let's see. Oh, let's check it out. Oh, it's just beautiful, isn't it? Mars core, inner core. Let's take a look at that one. Inner core. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I know, it's coming up right now. You see, these are images from Google that'll let you know that this is the interior of Mars. I love this one right here. See, that signifies a dead core on a supposed planet that does not exist. Okay? That's what you're given. This is an interior shot of Mars and Earth and other things. Remember, it's Cartoon Sunday. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's nonsense. It's bullshit. So Google's giving you that, but yet they're suppressing us from telling you the truth, that the Earth is flat, stationary,
how did you think
and
I
covered
found
with a
you?
dome. But yet you're given this nonsense. Does that make any sense at all to you? Think about it. Think about it. That's it, I'm done.
Yeah, wife back, come home. Keep it short, just in case.
Yeah, just in case your wife comes back.
Oh, I really want to watch this one. I know it's clickbait, but somehow I think it's not real. Tempted. Come on, let's click on it. Let's see what happens.
Hell!
Oh, it's that guy. He's alright. Now, come back to that. Well, there you go. There's another little battle going on between Raichi and Flatzoid. Flatzoid's obviously...
Yep, yes, I'll be keeping an eye on that one, I have to admit.
Flatzoid's got a bit of hurt feeling over Raichi. Being less flat. Let's put it that way. So, she posted what I would consider... It wasn't very... I can't say it was a very exciting video.
No, that Rachel's videos aren't enthralling. Informative, maybe, but...
Yes. She does seem to find... It's not her usual intro, though. Do you know, it's changed a little bit.
Yeah, she's changed it.
Oops, sorry.
Claim there would be 1,000 miles per hour drift at the equator. You just conceded conservation of momentum, tangential velocity, debunking that claim. I did not say that. Sorry. Where did I concede that, guys? I literally said, these were my words. If you state conservation of momentum, it has nothing to do with the Coriolis effect.
Ooh, not that fast. Okay, Professor Snodgrass, we're gonna test the Coriolis effect on the merry-go-round that's in the park in Urbana. So when I walk forward, I fall to the right. And then if I take a step back, actually it might be safe to do like this. Oh, I fall what would have been the left.
And before you claim this is not Coriolis because it's not going over the merry-go-round, let's take a look at another example where there is a ball and we see the exact same thing happen.
3 people throwing simultaneously on a rotating platform. But anyway, we'll slow this way down to 10% of real time so you can see what's going on.
So as you can see, just like the girl, as the ball goes from the outside of the merry-go-round towards the inside of the merry-go-round, it goes to the right, just like she went to her right. And as you can see, the ball near the centre, as it goes to the outside, goes to the right, just like she went to the right.
I stated tangential velocity to answer your question why you would have different amounts of deviation. Okay? That's not claiming Earth rotating. That's simple Coriolis observation.
I didn't say Earth rotating. I said that you conceded tangential velocity, therefore you conceding conservation of momentum. if you have tangential velocity, what's going to make you lose that tangential velocity? Unless a force acts on you. So, therefore, if no force is acting on you, then therefore you're keeping that tangential velocity, you're keeping that momentum, aka conservation of momentum.
That's a lie. She says the Coriolis claim flatoid, where flat earthers claim there would be 1,000 miles per hour drift at the equator. You just conceded conservation of momentum, tangential velocity, debunking that claim. I did not say that. Sorry. Where did I concede that, guys? I literally said, these were my words. If you state conservation of momentum, it has nothing to do with the Coriolis effect. I stated tangential velocity to answer your question why you would have different amounts of deviation. So yeah, I take that back, and don't say lies like that. I didn't say that.
What do you take back, and why? By claiming tangential velocity, there's no reason to lose tangential velocity, as I've already explained. And I didn't say rotation in that comment. I said about the conservation of momentum due to tangential velocity. Therefore, by claiming tangential velocity, you're claiming conservation of momentum. It's not a lie, it's just you not understanding it.
Okay, so Rachie says, I want you to explain how the different tangential... The different tangential velocities causes different amounts of drift. There's no different amounts of drift, Rachie. I stated tangential velocity to answer your question why you would have different amounts of deviation. Okay, so Rachie says, I want you to explain how the different tangential... The different tangential velocities causes different amounts of drift. There's no different amounts of drift, Rachie. I stated tangential velocity to answer your question why you would have different amounts of deviation. Imagine these balls on a merry-go-round. We super glued them to the merry-go-round. The merry-go-round is moving, okay? 15 degrees an hour in your case, as you wanted to. This thing is moving 15 degrees an hour. This one is also moving 15 degrees an hour, this one as well. The only difference is this one is traveling faster around than this one and this one. Why? Because they're taking more distance to travel in the same amount of time.
Ooh, not that fast. Okay, Professor Snodgrass, we're gonna test the Coriolis effect on the merry-go-round that's in the park in Urbana. So when I walk forward, I fall to the right. And then if I take a step back, actually it might be safe to do like this. Oh, I fall what would have been the left.
The inside has a slower tangential velocity than the outside, which has a faster tangential velocity. So when she moves from a faster tangential velocity to a slower tangential velocity, she goes ahead of the rotation. Therefore, she falls to the left from our point of view. She goes ahead of the rotation because she is moving from a faster tangential velocity to a slower tangential velocity. As she moves from a slower tangential velocity to a faster tangential velocity, she lags behind. She falls to the right because she's now going slower than the tangential velocity at that point.
I stated tangential velocity to answer your question why you would have different amounts of deviation. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this.
I decided I'm not sure either of them know what they're talking about.
Poor old Lyzoid. I mean, Failzoid. I mean, Flatzoid.
Yes.
Trying to make an argument, but he doesn't actually understand it in the first bloody place.
No, that's right. Hey, Blue. How you going?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Yeah, Rachie did pretty good on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Velocity, however, is not conserved. Momentum is conserved. Angular momentum is conserved.
Yes. Anyway, she's trying.
Oh, she is.
She's having
She's starting to get a lot more stuff correct, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
You know, she's probably not talking to Riley anymore.
Probably Riley won't talk to her anymore.
Because he's busy helping support Flatsoid.
Yes.
Yeah, I gave her a little bit of a note about the momentum velocity thing. That's right. Why figure skater speeds up when she pulls her arms in.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because angular momentum is conserved.
Yep.
But angular momentum is angular velocity times moment of inertia. And when she pulls her arms in, she reduces her moment of inertia. Therefore, her angular velocity has to increase.
Yeah.
In order to conserve momentum.
Yes, that's improving it.
Or the opposite if you want to slow down. Increase the moment of inertia and you'll slow down.
Which is why you put your hands out to slow down.
Yep.
Which is how they used to do the governor on governor, I think it's the right word, on the steam engines, the spinning balls.
Balls out.
Yeah.
Where it comes from.
Yeah, that's right.
When you're going balls out.
You're going pretty quick. Why can't I find what I'm looking for? Oh, Leo, there you go. Well, Matt's not here, so I'll have to miss out on Leo. I know he's his favourite person. One of his favourites.
A few people I know have said that
This was not the one I was looking for. This is him going.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
No, this one was the one where he talks about.
That was a track by Queens of the Stone Age, if I remember rightly.
He doesn't like Andrew. Doesn't like Andrew Tate because he talks about how Elon Musk's gonna colonize Mars. And goes how that can't
God,
be.
not Andrew Tate. Oh, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if I find the one I was looking for. Rare moon landing embarrasses space fans.
Today.
Why is always rare stuff that you can find?
I'm looking at some rare footage from Apollo 12. This footage is not only rare, but also extremely revealing, as we're about to see.
Yes, and this has been debunked many times over.
So I've got two clips. Both involve the LEM, and both are rather revealing to say the least. The first clip shows the LEM supposedly descending, filmed from the lunar orbiter. In this clip, as we're about to see in a minute, we get scale issues. The special effects department kind of made a bit of a boo-boo as regards the size of the spacecraft and of course the size of the moon. And of course as a result of that, kind of give the game away. And then in the second clip, if that wasn't bad enough, and of course we know they used models back in the early days of NASA to sell this silly lie, but in the second clip of the same supposed spacecraft here as it's returned from the moon and has come back to dock with the orbiter, we have a model malfunction. Really a bad mission, this Apollo 12. I can't believe I didn't catch these two before. Now I've seen the model malfunction before. I don't know if it was the same mission, but this extra footage we're going to see here with the scale issues as the LEM supposedly descends to the moon. I just love this old footage. So let's have a look.
Fuck's sake, get on with it, you twat.
No sound.
Yeah.
God, he
as with a lot of these old NASA tapes.
He does, doesn't he?
You can see the size of the craft, the scale issue, in relation to the size of the moon. Ridiculous.
Well, not really.
Really, really bad scaling there, guys.
But
like I said, we know they use models. Been caught out many times. Of course, I use the brand name Airfix because it's a British thing from back in the 70s, just to mock it really, because they weren't exactly great models anyway, and neither are NASA stuff. And we're going to see in a minute this model malfunction as it supposedly returns to them from the moon. But as we can see, before it's even got there, it's got scale issues. This stuff has aged terribly. Bear with me.
So what's the scale issue? It's not. It's in space above the moon.
Yeah.
What? All I could get was that he thinks somehow that this is. Go back a bit. This is actually it being landed on the moon, right? Not that it's just flying to the moon. Because wouldn't this be going to the moon? Because they left the legs behind, right?
Correct. It's a two-stage device. And they left the descent stage, includes in the name, behind on the moon surface.
So this has got to be it flying to the moon.
Yes.
So, and it's just they're taking that as though that somehow it landed on the moon. Well, no.
This stuff has aged terribly. Bear with me. If you thought that was bad with the scale issues of the model in relation to the moon of the first clip, wait till you see the second clip here. This is the LEM, same craft, supposedly returning from the moon here. Problem is, as it gets close to the so-called lunar orbiter, it has a bit of a model malfunction. And the satellite, as we can see bottom right, I pointed out here with the arrow, breaks. Either the super glue or the sticky tape holding this model together breaks under pantomime-like conditions. So let's have a look.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, pay particular attention, bottom right, to the satellite. It's going to snap, break, as we have a model malfunction. Get ready. Whoops. And again. Oops. So if it's as if the scale issues weren't bad enough in relation to the model LEM supposedly landed on the moon, like I said, the craft was gigantic in comparison to the moon. If that wasn't bad enough, and if the footage wasn't bad enough for itself, then we've only got to look at this craft when it's supposedly returned. It has a model malfunction. Who would have thought? One last time.
That's it. You keep saying the same words to try and hypnotise your viewers to believe
Here
it.
it comes.
Yeah, but that's
Clearly
what it must be. It can't be anything
ridiculous.
else.
You gotta love the fact we can look back at all this moon landing footage and now use it as evidence to highlight how ridiculous space is. Spacecraft totally out of whack as far as scale relation to the moon, and models malfunctioning when they're supposedly docking with spacecrafts. Dear oh dear.
Yes, it's the S-band antenna, which had nothing to do with docking.
No.
And I believe, I'm sure I've looked at this before, and there was a problem with the linkage on Apollo 12.
Yeah.
Which is why it goes twang.
Twang, grateful.
But the whole thing was designed to move anyway. But I think they'd had a problem with the linkage or something.
Yeah.
Yes. This has been looked at and gone over years ago.
Well, that's what annoys me is this so-called rare footage. Just he uses that obviously as clickbait.
It's obviously either he's found it for the first time or and I think what is more likely is people find this stuff for him and say, "Come on, make a video about that."
Yes, that's all. Well, I don't have a quiz, and Paul doesn't have a quiz. We have play an Everett. I got an Everett.
I thought I had a Hayes manual for the lunar module, but I don't.
We have an Everett.
Yay! Can't beat it, Everett.
Can't beat. Let's play an Everett. One or two. Let's see what you want this one. Oh, can't see that one. Hang on. There we are. You can see it. There we go. Ooh, familiar face.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris
from New York, Westchester County.
What's the fastest way out of here?
Jetpack.
Do you actually have a jetpack?
No. What? Wait. I've got an underground bunker. This tunnel leads directly to an underground train. I haven't dug it yet. Oh, what have I been doing with my life? That's it. We've run out of options. Just pretend to be dead. I'll be here.
They now say that we're in a solar system bubble. Yeah.
That's from Cook.
I guess the whole universe is in a bubble, right? That makes a lot of sense.
I will put this as eloquently
And for the world
and
people.
succinctly as possible. Get me the hell out of here!
Yeah,
nonsense that they just spew out to reinforce space. Because they can't do anything. You're not going anywhere. You'll never land anywhere because there's nowhere to land except here on Earth.
Can't just come up to
Is there
people
like
trying
a
to
button to press so we can skip him talking?
Come on, skip,
saying
weird stuff to get a
It's
reaction.
not working, butthead.
I don't want to have to call security. That's not what I'm about, you know, man?
Come on, skip.
That's the only place you're landing, or crash landing into the ocean.
It's froze.
Going around somewhere in Arizona, or I don't know, some mysterious island that nobody knows about, because there's definitely more land, guys. That's right.
Am I right? Am I right? I deserve this one.
I'm not even a doctor.
Somebody wasn't going to come out and tell you live on a flat land. You got to figure that out yourself. You can sit there and talk to somebody about flat Earth, but you've got to figure it out yourself.
He's never found anything, you know. Not even change in the street. He can barely find his ear with...
Yeah. Or chew gum at the same time.
Should she be out in the sun?
You, the ball earthers I'm talking to right now, have to figure out
Can you hear
how
it?
to take apart this ridiculous spinning wet ball.
You can hear
and have
him.
it crumble down on a table
he was struggling
in
with
front of
that.
your eyes.
Ed, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you're giving everybody the creeps.
I didn't ask for these powers. They just came.
Piecing it back together. Again, ever. You just can't. There's no way. I mean, you see everything now with new eyes.
Hello, this is Dr. Niles Crane again, and no, we haven't taken leave of our senses. That bit of inspired lunacy you heard before the commercial was just a little docudrama Fraser and I put together on the dangers of over-medication.
Yes, I think you'll do it.
Yes, I think I'm having a bit of a bad internet day.
You're having issues.
I'm having issues. I have one of these supposedly hard science quiz, 11 questions. Okay. Oil, natural gas, or coal are examples of
Right.
biofuels. No. Renewable resources. No. Geothermal resources. No. Guess what? I think we know what the answer is.
I hope so, because it shrunk on my screen and I can't read it.
Oh,
yeah, I can't read it either.
Because your bandwidth is...
It's like you're becoming a scammer.
Oh dear, can you see that at all? Can
It's
you read that
tiny.
one? 20? Oh,
Yeah, can't
try to
read.
make it bigger. Is that any better? No, not very great, is it?
No.
Yeah. What if I share? Will I get any better? Okay, can you see that? You
Ah,
guys?
there we go. That's better.
Yeah.
That's
Much
better,
more
right?
of a better.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know if they can see that out there though. Good Good luck. How much I can do with it. This is the best I can do it. Hey. Study. A scientist conducting a study to determine how well new medication treats ear infections. Scientists tell the participants to put 10 drops in the ear. After 2 weeks, all the participants' ear infections have healed. Which following changes to the design of this study would improve the ability to test if the new medication effectively treats ear infections. If the participants use ear drops once a week. If the participants put ear drops in both their infected ears and a healthy ear. Create a second group of participants with ear infections. Uses 15 drops. Create a second group of participants with ear infections who do not use any drops. Okay. I think Turing tests had it before I'd even finished saying it.
Number 4. Yay!
Number 4.
Return of number 4. Yes, you have a control group.
You have a control group. Yes. Which of the following is an example of genetic engineering? Finding a sequence of bases plant DNA. Growing a whole plant from a single cell. Inserting a gene into a plant and making them resistant to insects, or attaching a root of one plant to the stem of another.
The third one.
Yes.
That's where I would go with.
I don't see how the fourth one's going to achieve anything other than having 2 big plants.
Well, they do that a lot. That's grafting plants, yeah. But it's not genetic engineering.
Yeah, but grafting's not genetic engineering.
No, yeah.
No.
What's the main cause of the seasons of the Earth? Now, what does the flat earther say? Just is.
Well, it's obviously the distance, because it's not the same distance. So when it gets closer, it must get. Oh, hang on a minute.
Must get hotter.
Whoops.
Exactly. Whoops. But it's got nothing to do with the axial tilt. No, not at all.
No, I thought, isn't that the speed? The Earth rotates around the sun. So when it speeds up, it gets colder, and when it gets slow, it's, you know.
Well, yeah, the wind blows harder when it speeds up. Of course, it gets colder.
Okay, so let's go with that one. Next. Okay. These graphs show the monthly precipitation of average temperatures in 3 cities in the United States over the course of a year. Based on a graph, which city has the greatest annual range of temperatures? Is it A, Chicago, B, Los Angeles, or New York?
New York City.
I'm going with Chicago myself.
Same here, yes.
I hope that's those answers to the last question. 3. They all have the same annual temperature range. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. They're also using this funny if. Number 2, which one are we doing? Chicago. That one. Up here. The time a computer takes to start has increased dramatically. Yes? One of the possible explanations is the computer is running out of memory. This explanation is scientific experiment, observation, hypothesis, conclusion. Well,
yes. Oh yeah, hang on a minute. That's number 3.
That's number 3. Yeah, I would be going number 3. How many times do you get it? This would be conclusion when you're talking about a flat earther. That this is what they thought it is, so therefore that must be what it is.
Yeah.
Many diseases have incubation periods. Which of the following best describes what an incubation period is? Vector disease on babies. That makes sense. The period during which someone builds up immunity to a disease. The period in which somebody has an infection, but it's not showing symptoms. C. Look, this is another one of these quizzes where if you go C, you're going to be doing well. Okay. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to go with C. Yes. What's the largest area of forest? When a large area of forests are removed, so land can be converted for other uses, such as farming, which of the following occurs? Greater oxygen production, decreased carbon dioxide, Colder temperatures, increased erosion.
Erosion.
I would go on with erosion out of those. Yeah. 3. See, look. See that in the live chat? 3.
Yeah, that's.
Except for that one.
Hopefully,
Just
the last question, not this one.
Yeah, no, except for this one, which is 4. Okay. An antacid relieves an overly acidic stomach because the main component of antacids are acids, bases, isotopes, or acids. So I was reading backwards. Bases, isotopes, neutral, or acid. 9A says no. Okay. How do we do 9A? What are we going with? We're going with
Fleetwood Mac.
I can't find Fleetwood Mac. It's not there. Let's go with
Antacids
isotopes.
clearly contain Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. He's just acidic. Isn't that right? Yeah. Next. Which of these? Which of these is a major concern about the overuse of antibiotics? There will be an antibiotic shortage. It can lead to antibiotic-resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can cause secondary infections. Antibiotics will get into the water system.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile, which is B. And car travels at a constant speed for 40 miles per hour. How far does it travel in 45 minutes?
3/4 of that.
I don't know.
You don't know? Really? And it's in miles too, and you still can't work it out.
It's like these YouTube channels when they go and ask Americans, you know,
Depends whether it's travelling
like,
east or west.
It's 60 miles an hour. How far do you travel in an hour? And they can't answer it. You know.
Depends whether it's travelling with or against the rotation of the Earth.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Wind speed. Don't forget about wind speed.
Well, according to one discussion I had with the flat earther, if it was in Australia, if it was travelling north-south, it would be distance different than if it was travelling east-west, because the odometers are set so that we think that the Australia is not as wider than we think it is, because that's what it is on the Gleason map. Okay, I'm going with 30 miles. Anyone object?
No, because that's the right.
No. Processing. Bet you this is one. Please send me an email. Oh no, we answered all of them correct. There you go. Numbers answered correct. People, 5% have got 0. What?
Blimey. How do you get all of those questions wrong? I mean, that's quite an achievement.
Yeah. It's not what I consider hard. Now, I could pull up one of the brilliant questions I was doing today. I was doing questions on infinity, and I got most of them wrong.
Don't you know your cardinality very well, Timbo?
So I didn't do very well with infinity. So let's have a see if I can find. Luckily, I'm doing okay. So let's see if I can find. I do recommend this, but although I'm not sure about the cost, but it has been quite fun. Oh, why am I not logged in? I have a feeling, since it says Tim, that's not me. Yeah, find get to log into the right people. Oh no, I can do it on that one. So find that infinity course. Sorry. Infinity. So.
And beyond.
And beyond. So, can I skip ahead? Oh, here you go. This is the one I absolutely failed on today. Well, I consider fail. Oh. What? I thought I might be able to cheat the system and use some of my free courses, but I think I've already used them up on this name. Okay. I have to come back to that one. Now, let's put a Mr. 42. I'll fix that.
Good day, gentle people. It's your favorite Mr.
It is.
42. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna answer an age-old question. Do rockets work in a vacuum?
Yes.
Well, we use the bubble tubes.
Well, that's why we use different ones to ones that operate in the atmosphere.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why we don't use jet engines.
The first flat earther on the table is Level Earth Observer. And yes, Adam, I will call you a flat earther, despite your objections. You may not want to be called that, but your own video descriptions are evidence that you are indeed a flat earther. I also recommend not abusing the copyright system. Such actions tend to bite you in the behind real fast.
Well, let's talk demonstrable reality in space. Well, rockets don't work in a vacuum.
There is no brain in your vacuum.
Hate to break it to you, and here's a practical reference highlighting that fact.
Hey Adam, I recognize this. That is the second experiment from the video.
I can't work that out.
What happened to the first one?
We've got a rocket in a vacuum chamber. We're going to see it expel its gas here in a minute as it attempts to move and prove rockets can fly in a vacuum.
Was the first one too inconvenient for you? You couldn't lie your way around it? Let's have a watch.
Now let's try to ignite it by just holding our laser in one spot. Whoa.
It fits your narrative perfectly, Adam. Why didn't you use this?
I can't work that out.
I'll call that failure number 1, Adam.
This rocket doesn't move whatsoever until the gases being expelled by it start pushing off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
Can you explain a bit more about that? As far as I know, gas is not very rigid.
There's no walls in space, fantasists, which means your fantasy world of rockets flying through a vacuum is just that, a fantasy. It doesn't move until the gases start pushing off the side wall of the vacuum chamber.
Are you sure about that? Are you absolutely sure? I took the first frame where the gas starts moving and the last frame before it hit the wall. There's definitely movement. That is failure number 2.
There's no walls in space. Therefore rockets have nothing to push off.
What magic forces would move the energy back from the wall to the rocket?
Nothing.
That is failure number 3.
And as a result, rockets don't work in a vacuum.
Let's travel back in time a few months, where Adam wants to see an air pressure system next to a vacuum. I think the footage you just showed us qualifies. It's an air pressure surrounded by a vacuum. Well done, Adam. That's failure number 4.
This is a practical reference that can be tested and verified by all. But it's a great representation and visual here for fantasists to look at and see that this doesn't move until the gases start to push off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
So, what was the conclusion?
My giant vacuum chamber worked perfect for testing out how rockets can fly in space.
Oops. You selected a part of the video to try and fit your lies. Failed to do so and debunked both your current statement and a previous statement in the process. Do you know what I would call that?
Absolutely fucking pointless.
Right on. Thanks, Del. Now let's see how Taboo Conspiracy deals with this.
Another great video from Level Earth Observer, where he showed a clip from Action Lab evincing that a rocket will not work in a vacuum.
And of course, you analyzed the video thoroughly, and you're now here to prove him wrong, right? Right?
Therefore, a rocket would never be able to go to what they claim is outer space.
Oh dear. Alicia? He just saw the video and didn't think for himself. Is that good? Ja. Nein, das ist nicht gut. Nein. He must think for himself. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did not, did he? No.
I haven't explored this issue for a long time, and so this was a lot of fun to see.
You still haven't really explored this issue now.
It can't be more obvious. The makeshift rocket doesn't move until the gases hit the wall of the vacuum chamber.
Except that it did move. You're just repeating a lie.
It needs something to push off of. As I was searching for the original source video, I found a similar one. Take a look.
Oh, here we go again.
Again, the model rocket engine does not produce any movement until it has something to push off of.
Now it's only fair if I perform the same standard to your video as I did to Adam's video. And what do you know? Movement before gas hits the wall. Some flat earthers will now start to cry and complain it's so little compared to the movement in the end. To that I will simply say, look at the difference in trust. Same goes for the previous video, it's just easily visualized in this one. I'm getting a headache here, so I'm taking a break. It's easy to say it's because of these flat earthers, but it's really the light from this webcam shining into my eyes. Maybe both. And by the magic of filmmaking, I'm feeling all better now. Let's watch some Mikey Smith. Am I sure? Absolutely not.
Should we do videos or moons? I mean, videos or pictures, I should say. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to...
How long is this video? Ooh, it's a live stream, 1 hour and 5 minutes. We're not gonna do all of that. Let me skip to some interesting parts, so you don't have to watch it all.
Just tell me why these blue blotches are here. You see this blueness here? Notice the sky is blue behind the moon. I'm kind of curious about this.
Behind the moon.
Can you explain to me why these are blue during the daytime and then black or really dark gray at night? Can you please explain this to me, please? I will sit here and wait for you to explain why it's blue. The same color as the sky behind it.
This picture was kindly given to me by Smoku, and it explains how the blue sky in front of the moon can color what the moon looks like.
Oh my God, someone tickled my fancy and called me Bob.
Bob.
I am recording the sunspots during the day. They were quite different today. I'm sure if, of course we can only assume, I don't think the sun is rotating like the moon. The sun is just going like this, and I don't know what the sunspots are, but they are different locations from day to day.
I post a video every month on my second channel.
Because I have my solar filter on there, you can see how reflective it is.
Because of course he has a P900.
This is probably not going to work, but I'm going to try to point my laser at the sun during the day. Of course, when would I be able to point it at night? It's not there in the night. So I'll point my laser at the moon, and not at the moon, at the sun, and see if this filter helps me see it on the sun. Wouldn't that be something?
Well,
guess what, boys? The moon is not 240,000 miles away.
Wait, between those last two clips I didn't cut anything. Weren't we talking about the sun, and now suddenly it is about the moon? What happened, Mikey?
Because my laser, that's what I was going to show you, touches the moon.
No, it doesn't.
The blue light coming from my laser curves when it touches the moon.
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
Because this obviously blocks out all of the crazy sun rays that does not allow you to focus on the sun unless you have one of these filters, as you've seen in my videos. So This is going to allow me to block out all of the sun rays, the brightness, so I can point my laser at the moon. I mean, at the sun. And maybe I might be able to pick it up. Who knows? I'm just theorizing right now.
Utter useless moron.
But if I can do that, then the sun's really close.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready! I have to give Mikey some credit to fantasize outside the box. But shining a laser on a very hot ball of plasma won't get you anywhere, no matter the distance. What kind of experiment is this again, Mikey?
Bullshit with a capital bull shit. It's 93 million miles away. A burning ball of gas in a vacuum.
It's not gas and it's not burning.
That's even more hilarious. You're going to have to show me how you light a match in a vacuum.
That's a strawman argument and completely irrelevant. Mikey rambles on for another 20 minutes, but I'm done with this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like, subscribe to the channel and share the frick out of it. This has been Mr. 42, out. Don't panic.
That wasn't bad.
But you can strike a match in a vacuum.
Yes.
Because the striking compound has got its own oxidizers built in. Obviously, the match won't continue burning.
No.
Yeah.
But the head will strike.
Yeah. Let's do a little bit of shifting. Oh. Can you guys see that? Are you still sharing that screen? Yes. No. You're sharing the other screen. You can see. They can see that there. You can see it here. Stop. Share. 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 There we go. Quiz number 2. My generous benefactor who gave me a subscription to this brilliant website. It's brilliant. We can do this quiz since I failed it miserably. Hilbert's Infinite Hotel has an infinite number of guests, basically. I'll read the rest of that. And given that it has an infinite number of rooms, he can have an infinite number of people in the rooms. So one night he's completely full. So infinite number of rooms with infinite number of people. I actually got the first bit right. Okay, so a single person shows up to the room. Never turn one guest away. Mr. Hibbert realizes he can open up a room for a newcomer, asking some of the current guests in the room to change rooms. However, he knows that his guests will only agree to move if they are asked to move a finite number of rooms. You can't ask a person in the first room to move to the last room because obviously it's an infinite distance away. Finding a room for a new guest means finding a one-to-one correspondence between the current guests plus the new guest. Okay, so I didn't realise the answers were going to be it. That's a shame. How many concurrent guests will Mr. Hibbert move to open up space for the new guests? 1, 2, or an infinite?
If I remember rightly, all of them.
Yes, an infinite. Okay. I'll try this. True or false? If Mr. Hibbert's hotel is full, Hibbert will have to move every guest in order to make the rooms move for a new guest. True or false?
Move them where it's full.
No, to move them to make room for the new guest.
But it's full.
But it's got to move. But it's an infinite number of rooms, so it can make room.
But it's full.
I got that one wrong. I thought he'd have to move every guess,
Oh.
but no. Apparently he
So
doesn't.
you don't all of them then?
No. Not for that question. It will have to move to infinite number of guests to make room for the guests, but it doesn't mean you will have to move all the guests. You can ask all the guests in odd number rooms to move up 2 rooms, so the guests in rooms n will move n plus 2, as long as n is odd. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes sense to me, after I read it, but not when I was asking the question. You follow that?
Sure.
I think Paul does, but Blue, you got that, I'm sure. It's a shame. A shame that it had the quiz. I thought when I went back to review it, it wouldn't have the quiz. We could try back again. Okay.
Can you do this for fun, do you?
Yeah. Give an n to the cardinal. The number. I actually got this one right. Based on the previous question, the simplest way to write n0 plus 1 is going to be n0, isn't it? So I got that one right.
It's not an n.
Well, I call it n. What do you call it?
Yeah, it's not in. Yeah, I don't know.
What's it called?
Aleph.
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 Don't actually say that anyway, so I just call it n. Keep it as a symbol. Okay. Can Hibbert make room for every person on the bus? Yes, it is possible for him to make room for every person on the bus with the one. But it wasn't possible for him to shift. So as I said, this was what started to fail after this. I started to make very poor guesses. I think I guessed if B is each person on the bus, the seat number which of the following would work. I think I went with this one, which no, I think so. Okay, I got that one though. What is the simplest way to write? And what is it? ALF0 times ALF0, whatever it is. ALF0, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Paul and I have been following this, and I've got to keep ahead of the other people in my league. So let's see where I am at the moment. There we go. Did he catch up?
You got to try the one on complex numbers, Timbo. That'll make you think.
I was thinking about that one. Well, I picked something the other people might like. Fundamental mathematics. These are more puzzles than anything else. Here we go.
How are you enjoying it anyway, Timbo? Do you reckon you'll become a member or not?
I enjoyed it. Just not sure if I can fork out $200 a year. Okay, here we go. See if you can do this. Final challenge of 10 people are playing the game together. Okay, they all are perfect logic and honest, blah, blah, blah. There are 5 red hats, 5 blue hats, 1 yellow hat. That means that 1 hat will be hidden. After all open their eyes, none of the perfect logicians knows their own hat colour. All of a sudden they explain, I don't know my own hat colour. So, which hat is it? 10 people.
I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it can be yellow. So, that can't be the... So if you're not yellow... Yeah, I'll have to come back to that one. Okay, what else can we do?
The $200 a year, Timbo, that's only $4 a week.
Well, if I was only paying $4 a week, but you've got to pay it all in one go.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's the trick. If they had a thing, I still might Well, quite enjoyed it. So, okay. Let's move on. There are actually interesting questions in there that I think others would find. I have picked probably the more deep questions in there. But I was also learning how to program Python. And I did all the computer science ones, which was fun. So, okay, what else have we got? What time's it? 11 o'clock. Looks like we might be finishing early tonight. I got another Everett. Let's put another Everett on.
Yeah, why not?
Everett on.
I'm just going to switch back again. That's it. Everything's around. Oh. I can see you guys can see that. Tell Mr. Everett to come up on this screen. Come on, Mr. Everett, where are you? I can't see him. Check what this says. Okay. No, it's not him. He's run away on me. Sorry, I got quiet. I just lost everybody. I can't find. I might have to put him over here. Let's do that. Now you'll see him. There you go. There you go. It's all gone awry. It's all gone awry. Oh dear, what's the... That's to YouTube. No, my YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Run away. Try again. Okay. So there's an update. There we go. Sorry about that. I did it like that. Let's try again.
Yo, so y'all mean to tell me y'all motherfuckers believe we live on a ball spinning in space covered in water at 1,000,000 miles an hour? But that North Pole, that North Star, Polaris don't ever change? No matter how many fucking miles we go through space, it don't ever change? Come on, man.
Ulrich, your brain is like the four-headed, man-eating haddock fish beast of Aberdeen. In what way? It doesn't exist.
You can't see or prove we're on a globe. You can't. But I tell you what you can prove. Water always finds its level. Water can't stick to a ball. Centrifugal force. Electromagnetic downward pull. I can keep going.
My brain cells are just fine.
Hello? Where is everybody? I'm the only brain cell left.
How about the fact that all airplanes never, no matter what, they don't apply for curvature, ever. In their handbook, it says fly over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Pretty simple, right?
No, not really.
Oh, dang it, what an idiot. I'm sorry.
I don't care if you're flying fucking Delta or the F-22 flying at fucking 2,000 miles an hour and fucking 85,000 feet in the air. You never have to apply for curvature. Now, if you're on a ball and you're going straight, at some point to go around that ball, you gotta dip.
Well, it's 3:50. That's basically 4. I mean, in some cultures, it's polite to do things 10 minutes early. You know, if it's good with water, it'd be even better with wine, huh? Just like Jesus says.
Now, I don't know if you know the difference between the flat Earth map and the globe map, but they're drastically different, okay? All pilots, all sailors, all missiles that are shot, all use the flat Earth map.
My agent says to me, go on a cruise. You don't have to follow follow Sinbad, and you don't have to follow Carrot Top. And you get to eat with the captain. So, am I eating with the captain? Am I eating? Am I even on a cruise anymore? Somebody get my agent!
Say everything goes wrong on a plane, right? Both pilots die, plane needs to land itself. The AI system that is built into that plane uses the flat Earth map.
Peggy, you want to give this one tug?
Well, what about planets? You can see them through a telescope. I'm sorry, but you can't. You can't see planets through a telescope, bro.
Oh, whatever you say. Well, anyway.
If you look through an actual telescope and look up real photos or videos of planets through telescopes, they're orbs. They're glowing lights. They're balls of energy. Could be a ball, could be a circle. Who knows? I've never been there.
We're in the hands of a blithering idiot.
That's Captain Blithering.
And I don't know if you guys know about this, but NASA is a world organization that every country's top agencies answer to. KGB, CIA, China's, whatever the fuck they got. Everybody, they answer to NASA.
You guys are hilarious! Encore!
Bro, you can't imagine how many gallons of water is in the ocean. But you're fucking telling me that gravity keeps that stuck to here, but we're able to move freely, run, jump, butterflies can fly, fucking birds can fly, animals can jump, dogs can climb fucking trees 100 feet.
Oh, I never get tired of that!
Time. The Nikon P900, you dumb fucks.
Somebody get my spear gun.
We have proof and visual photos, videos of well past the point of curvature, and you just see straight.
Educational system which holds the fragile civilization of our country together.
Oh, well, sorry, Gene.
He's a fun guy, Mr. Everett, that is. He must do a lot of trolling on TikTok. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
He's out there, so we don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. We can laugh at the condensed bullshit.
Well, I
but
feel
he's had to sit through hours and hours.
I watch a lot of stuff that I don't put up on the show. I try not to, because a lot of it is dead boring. But yeah, you must go through so much stuff. Yeah. Well, I do have a Dan. It's final. I don't usually play Dan, but he does have final Plato's compilations.
Oh yeah.
Does he?
He does. Well, that's what he says. Here we go.
It is unfortunately time to say goodbye to the Flat Earth Fail compilations. We've had a blast over the years looking at the mini fails, but the time has come for this little series to be shelved. But don't worry, something will replace it. But for now, let's round off the series with the Flat Earth Fail compilation, episode 50.
I'll see it.
Are you going to show us the video?
No, I thought I'd just watch it. Is that okay? Oh,
okay.
You guys want to share? I don't know. Do I have to share everything? Typical. Yeah.
Shelved, but don't worry, something will replace it. But for now, let's round off the series with the Flat Earth Fail compilation, episode 50. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick word from me about today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is a VPN to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure and to get up to 6 additional months free at surfshark.deals/SimonDan. Right, back to today's video, which, as you know, is the final instalment of the Flat Earth Fail compilation, episode 50 no less. And by the way, don't worry, this is not the end of the Flat Earth Fridays as we know it, just the little mini compilation videos that we do around once a month. And we start with, well, who can it be other than the most prolific failure of the whole series, Level Earth Observer. And he's talking about the ISS. Of course he is. Away you go, Elio.
Who still thinks the International Space Station is real?
Me.
Well, let's have a look. Now, just like I did last week, I'm going to use this citation from the United States Air Force to highlight the absurdity of the International Space Station.
If by instance they were flying at the altitudes that they fly at and they were to open their helmet up to like scratch their nose, if at that instant they were to lose cabin pressure, the blood in their body would instantaneously boil and be instantaneous death. So we have our pilots, we tell them once they close down, do not open until they land.
Sensible advice. The U-2 pilot flies approximately 70,000 feet, which I think is about 13 miles off the top of my head.
Good maths, Level Earth Observer. 13.2 miles to be precise.
And its top speed is 450 miles an hour, okay? And as our friend has just stated here, the reason the U-2 pilots wear their spacesuits is if they were to lose cabin pressure at high altitude and they didn't have their spacesuit on, their blood would boil instantly, okay? And this is where it gets incredibly silly. Now I'm going to let the NASA legend Don Pettit highlight the absurdity of the space station for all to see.
LEO seems confident here, doesn't he? Let's see what he's got.
Fresh off the back of the citation from the United States Air Force. Take it away, Don.
Okay, so you have a whole series of O-rings in here and a shaft that you rotate.
So, I mean, like on the space station, how many of these would you have?
7, because we have 7 windows.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Bearing in mind, the U-2 pilot is several hundred miles supposedly below these people on the space station. And if he had a leak, his blood would boil, which is why he has strict procedures. Of course, one of them is wearing the suit.
Well, not really. The army guy said that if he loses cabin pressure, then his blood would boil. Now that's a very small cabin in a U-2 plane. The ISS won't lose cabin pressure straight away from a tiny little leak. A 6mm hole, for example, wouldn't cause the ISS to lose cabin pressure for around 12 hours. More than enough time to fix it, I think.
But strangely enough, if you have a leak on the International Space Station, well, you have a leak. And it would seem this legend from NASA doesn't have a Scooby-Doo clue what to do to fix it. Despite the fact, from a citation of the United States Air Force, from what they've told us, these people would die instantly.
He would know how to fix it, don't worry about that. The ISS, by the way, has an internal volume of around 900 metres cubed. And that's about the same size as an Airbus A380.
You'd have procedures that would save your life under these circumstances drilled into you, where it would be second nature. So you'd act like that should you have issues. But if you have a leak, you have a leak.
Well, he's obviously not just going to leave it, is he?
You just have a leak. And what you would do is lose air. Yeah, you would probably seal the whole cupola off.
Probably. He doesn't have a clue what the procedures are.
To be fair to him, it's been over 11 years since Don was last on the International Space Station.
How obvious do these people need to make it for you? The United States Air Force is rubbish to space anyway with their citation from the spy plane. The Space Shuttle got annihilated last week from the citation from the United States Air Force. And now the space station itself has just been annihilated with the help of Don Pettit, who's highlighted how ridiculous this space story really is.
Level Earth Observer thinks it's a win by using US Air Force citations to try and prove that space doesn't exist. Of course, what he fails to grasp is that almost a quarter of all NASA astronauts ever used to be in the US Air Force. Right, moving on, and the next entry in this final Flat Earth Fail compilation comes from the man himself, Chris CC from New York, Westchester County. He's looking...
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. There it is.
Yes, Venus out of focus.
Oh, look,
well done, you. I kid you not, this is
Out
the
of
entirety of CC's video. Zooming in and out on the planet Venus whilst continually keeping it out of focus. That's okay though, we'll have to do an extra one to make up for it. And that extra one is also talking about Venus, but this time it's from Mikey Smith. Away you go, Mikey.
Okay, morons, time to wake up. We're revisiting the whole Venus in the night sky again. You're going to have to sit and think for a while. Take any medication for any brain farts or headaches, anything above, so here we go.
Medication all taken, Mikey. Thanks very much for reminding me.
Again, Earth is supposedly the third rock from the sun. There's the sun. Venus and Mars are in the inner orbit, so they're going to end up coming this way around the sun.
I'm sure he means Venus and Mercury, but yes, carry on please.
And continue on going in a circle around the sun, correct? On your model. Why is Venus over there in the night sky?
It's not. It's over here in the night sky. As you can see, it depends on where Venus is in its orbit, but it's entirely possible.
This is North America. We're looking in the night sky this way, because the sun is coming from this way, correct?
Well, no. Once the sun has set, you can look anywhere, in any direction, and it will be the night sky, including the direction that the sun has just set from, which, incidentally, is also the direction you look to see Venus.
Why is Venus in the night sky over there when it's in the inner orbit over here?
Again, it's not.
Going like this around the sun, correct? Because all of these so-called planets are rotating around the sun. So at what point is Venus going to show up in the night sky? And I don't care if it's twilight or dusk or dawn. Venus should be over here, not over there.
And as I said, I think that this example here explains it quite well, how you can actually see it. You're just not thinking three-dimensionally, buddy, as per usual. Let's move on to our next flat earth fail, which comes from our friend over on TikTok, Caleb FE. Now, he shared a video on his channel from Flat Out Truth, and he's named it That Time That Gravity Showed Up in Space. Curious. Let's find out what he's got.
Some of you may be familiar with the old experiment about the hammer and the feather. Well, in this case, our feather will be played here by this four of spades. And you may expect everything up here in microgravity to float, because most everything does float.
No.
Oh dear. Caleb has shared a video which he thinks backs his stance on NASA. Confirmation video show explaining that this very trick was a prank. He set the card up with a small elastic string attached to it, so when he let go of it, it would snap back and appear that it was dropped. Dear oh dear, Caleb, how have you fallen for that? Amazing. Well, our final video from our final Flat Earth Fail compilation comes from... oh, it's Mikey Smith again. Come on then, Mikey, finish off the series for us.
Okay guys, light reflection on a ball. As you see it when the sun sets, well, here, let's do it so you morons can understand. Okay, so...
thanks, Mikey. Moron over here needs to understand better.
Sun sets in the west. Okay, so how does it... I'm just not sure. what you guys are talking about curvature anywhere in your so-called reality, but you don't live in reality. So again, when you see light reflection or the sunset on your supposed ball, the light extends all the way across the ocean for 1,000 miles.
Now, if you're talking about photos like this, then that's not 1,000 miles. That's 3 or 4 at best. It's a form of specular reflection off of water. But obviously the water is sometimes moving and chopping around, so it's not an exact reflection. Here is an example on a really very still lake. Almost an exact copy of the sun in the lake's waters.
On your cartoon ball, it tends... Okay, so we're sitting west. How does this guy over here see the sun reflect to him on the surface of the ocean? Remember, God's son walked on water.
Well, that is enough of that. Basically, Mikey, we don't see the entire ocean when we look across it. Dear oh dear, what a wonderful way to end the series that was. But I'm afraid we're all done and dusted for the Flat Earth Fail compilations. I do hope you enjoyed them. I'll put a link in the description for the playlist for all of them, so you can go back and watch every single one from 1 to 50 if your heart desires. But for now, we're all done and dusted for another Flat Earth Friday. Thanks so much for watching. It's truly appreciated as ever. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing to the channel. We are a whisker away from that 500,000 now. And of course, if you really enjoyed this particular video, then you can either give it a thumbs up or share it as well. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a cracking weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday for an Eric DeBay video where he's talking about a population hoax. Interesting. See you then.
Funny thing about that laser, it left a big long stripe across that ball, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, funny that.
And I'm not quite sure how long he should be able to see, you know. Yeah, well, I think they're like cool. I was just trying to see what Mr. Blue Marble's going to saying out there. Alright, this is the ISIS.
Yeah, they were chatting out there about the ISS. And those silly ass actuators. Jesus Christ. It's a little 1/2-inch diameter shaft, 12 millimeter shaft.
Yeah.
If one of them totally, you got 900 cubic goddamn meters of atmosphere inside that station. If you open one, I mean, if you pulled one out totally, it's going to take hours to depressurize that thing.
Well, they've had leaks on the ISS before, and they've been so bloody small that they've had to go around and close off compartments and then leave it a day or two to notice the pressure drop.
Yeah, to try to find out which one's leaking.
Yeah, because there was one, I think it might have been, I mean, it's going to be one of the older Russian modules, because obviously, you know, the initial module's 20-odd years old. But yeah, it was like, shut this module down. We'll come back and check tomorrow. Has the pressure dropped? No, right. It's not this one. Let's go to the next one and the next one and so on and so forth. I mean, yeah, when they get a leak, like Don Pettit said, well, you've got a leak. You know.
Yeah. What do you do about that? Well, for the moment, stick a piece of duct tape on it. Big deal.
Well, you got to find it first, and then you deal with it.
Yeah.
If you can find it, stick a piece of duct tape on it. Don't worry about how you're going to permanently repair it.
Look what those Russians are doing when they're outside on the spacewalk, tearing all that insulation off because they knew the leak was in there somewhere. But it's like, well, we've got to fucking get to it.
Yeah. It's gonna go about one oddball, crazy ass thing that could happen. And what do? Look, that shit is all in the checklist. The ISS will have something, the rough equivalent to in an airplane, what we call a pilot's operating handbook. And that's got all the emergency procedures in it. You don't guess at what to do. You get the damn book out and read it. Well, it's all been thought out. Yeah.
I mean,
the last thing I want to think is that the guy I'm flying with thinks his brain is good enough to remember on the spur of the moment exactly what to do in a damn emergency. Please don't do that. Get the book out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's face it, even in a U2 at 70,000 feet, unless you get a complete cockpit canopy failure, like the whole thing comes off, like happened to Roland Beaumont in a Lightning, at Mach 2. It ain't going to depressurize that fast either, is it?
No.
No, and the U2. I mean, the cockpit is partially pressurized to start with, but it's nowhere near full atmospheric pressure. I mean, they don't wear it is a pressure suit, and they certainly do. Once they're closed down, they generally have a straw. There's a membrane that they can stick a straw through, so they can eat, drink, and scratch their nose with said straw, because that's about all that they can do. But the cockpit is partially pressurized. They did increase it after a few years because pilots were getting sick, and they worked out it needed a bit more pressure in there. I mean, it's not like he's sitting in a bloody vacuum.
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
And this movies haven't helped with this idea of, this sudden decompression in space, of course. This idea that, yes, it's all just going to explode.
It just yet again highlights how stupid Leo is. I mean, he's a moron.
Yes.
And obviously now one of these flat earthers who denies being a flat earther.
Well, of course not. He just says it's demonstrably you can't. It's a globe.
Oh, yeah.
I never said it's not a globe.
Just don't expect him to demonstrate it. He just says it's demonstrable without demonstrating it. That's easy.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to call it an early night, guys.
Fair enough.
Fair right.
I'm sure Paul with his pump worries probably wouldn't mind a bit of an early night. And we will catch you guys next week. If you'd like to say good night to the Peanuts. Well,
yes. Good night, Peanuts.
Good night, Peanuts.
Or even good afternoon.
Or even evening, whatever it is in your part of the world. Just not Westchester County, I hope. And no. I will. And we will catch up. Thanks for all coming. Do appreciate it. And we'll catch you next time. See you guys.
Yeah, see you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.
The end. Oh.